Across Africa, a quiet revolution is underway, not with armies, but with contracts and cranes. In cities from Lagos to Nairobi, the landscape is changing at a breathtaking pace. Towering cranes dot the horizon, signaling a new era of ambition and possibility. Roads, railways, and skyscrapers rise where there was once only open land, and the hum of construction is the new soundtrack of progress. In late 2025, American influence is fading, replaced by China's bold red and gold. The stars and stripes that once symbolized partnership and power are slowly giving way to the dragon's reach, as China invests billions in infrastructure, technology, and trade. This shift is not just symbolic, it's reshaping alliances, economies, and the very identity of the continent. This isn't just economic rivalry, it's a reordering of global power, with Africa as the battleground. The continent is now a crossroads for global interests, where deals are struck and futures are decided. International corporations, diplomats, and investors all compete for influence, knowing that Africa's choices will echo far beyond its borders. Africa's future matters, it's young, resource-rich, and its choices will shape the world. With a population set to double by 2050, and vast reserves of minerals, oil, and fertile land, Africa stands at the center of the world's hopes and ambitions. Its youth are connected, educated, and eager to define their own destiny. For decades, the US was Africa's main partner, but China now offers rapid development, without Western strings attached. American aid often came with conditions, but China's approach is pragmatic, focused on building roads, ports, and power plants. This new partnership is transforming daily life, from bustling cities to remote villages. The stakes are high, whose values, technology, and political norms will define the 21st century. Will Africa embrace Western ideals of democracy and transparency, or will it chart a new path, influenced by China's model of state-led growth and digital innovation? The answer will shape not just Africa, but the world. As America steps back, China, and others, step in, reshaping the continent's destiny. New players from Europe, the Middle East, and even India are also vying for a stake, making Africa a true global stage. This is the story of a superpower's retreat, a rising power's advance, and Africa's own pursuit of its future. The choices made today will echo for generations, shaping not only Africa's destiny, but the fate of the world in the decades to come. The US once led in Africa with aid, trade, and ideals. PEPFAR saved millions, and AGOA opened American markets to African goods. America's approach mixed development, democracy, and diplomacy, cementing its role as a key partner. China's entry was quieter, rooted in solidarity, but by the 2000s it became Africa's builder, roads, railways, and ports in exchange for resources. The Belt and Road Initiative turbocharged this, funding transformative projects continent-wide. China's model, pragmatic, state-driven, and non-interfering, attractive to leaders wary of Western lectures. The US focused on values, China on infrastructure and trade. This divergence set the stage for today's competition. Africa became the arena for two visions of partnership. By the mid-2020s, American influence in Africa unraveled. The expiration of AGOA in 2025 ended a cornerstone of US-Africa trade, leaving exporters adrift as China expanded tariff-free access. A new US administration imposed harsh travel bans and visa fees, shutting down exchanges that once built goodwill. Humanitarian ties frayed, PEPFAR funding was cut, and USAID dissolved, dismantling decades of development work. The US also withdrew troops from the Sahel, abandoning key security outposts. The message was clear. America's era as Africa's main partner was over. A vacuum emerged: economic, diplomatic, and security. China and others rushed to fill it. Africa's alliances began to shift. As America retreated, China recalibrated its African strategy. Gone are the days of only mega projects. Now, China champions small and beautiful initiatives, green energy, digital innovation, and sustainable agriculture. At the 2023 Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, Xi Jinping pledged $50 billion for targeted high-impact projects. The Clean Silk Road Initiative introduced anti-corruption measures and transparent lending, addressing past criticisms. China's new approach aims to create jobs, foster local skills, and build lasting value. Soft power is key: scholarships, summits, and respect for African leaders' agency. China's multi-pronged strategy, investment, diplomacy, and cultural exchange, is winning hearts and minds. The continent is responding. The US retreat and China's advance are reshaping African economies in real time, creating a new landscape of winners and losers across the continent. As American influence wanes, African nations are forced to adapt quickly, seeking new partners and strategies to keep their economies afloat and growing. The end of AGOA, a key US trade program, hit industries hard, especially in Kenya and Ethiopia, where textile sectors now face mass layoffs as US orders vanish. Factories that once buzzed with activity are now eerily quiet, leaving thousands of workers uncertain about their future and threatening the livelihoods of entire communities that depended on these jobs. Meanwhile, China's investments are surging, targeting not just traditional sectors, but also critical minerals and digital infrastructure. From mining operations to the construction of data centers and fiber optic networks, Chinese companies are embedding themselves deeply in Africa's economic fabric, promising modernization and connectivity. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, US brokered deals now compete directly with Chinese mining giants for control over cobalt, a mineral essential for the world's electric vehicles and tech devices. This rivalry is reshaping local economies and global supply chains, with African governments leveraging the competition to negotiate better terms. China's small and beautiful projects like data centers, 5G towers, and agri-tech parks are integrating deeply into local economies. These initiatives are not just about infrastructure, they're about building long-term partnerships and transferring technology, skills, and knowledge to African workers and entrepreneurs. These projects create jobs and value chains that stay in Africa, answering calls for sustainable growth and local empowerment. By focusing on manufacturing, agriculture, and technology, they help African economies diversify and become more resilient to global shocks. Trade flows are shifting eastward. Chinese-built economic zones are booming, attracting new investments and transforming once quiet regions into industrial powerhouses. These zones are becoming magnets for both local and international businesses, accelerating Africa's integration into global markets. The continent's infrastructure, both physical and digital, is being rewired by Beijing. New railways, highways, and high-speed internet lines are connecting cities and rural areas, opening up opportunities for trade, education, and innovation that were unimaginable just a decade ago. Some lament America's exit, fearing a loss of balance and influence, but others see new opportunities for diverse partnerships. African leaders and entrepreneurs are increasingly looking east, but also seeking to diversify their alliances, ensuring they have a say in shaping their own economic destinies. Africa's economic future is being redrawn before our eyes, as the continent navigates a new era of global competition, innovation, and opportunity. African leaders are navigating the US-China rivalry with pragmatism. Many praise China's no-strings-attached approach, while still courting Western investment, the goal partnership, not patronage. Frustration with US conditionality is widespread. Leaders want infrastructure and jobs, not lectures. Public opinion reflects this shift. Surveys show China is now the most popular foreign power in many countries. Tangible results, roads, power plants, jobs, matter more than abstract debates about debt. Concerns about labor and transparency exist, but the dominant narrative is progress. As one Ghanaian put it, the Americans offer a seminar, the Chinese build a bridge, we need the bridge. Nowhere is America's retreat more visible than the Sahel. The US and France's withdrawal left a security vacuum, quickly filled by new players. Russia moved in, backing military juntas with arms and advisors in exchange for mining rights. China, avoiding direct military action, uses economic aid and peacekeeping to stabilize the region. Turkey's defense trade and drone sales have soared, positioning Ankara as a key player. Gulf states like the UAE and Qatar are investing heavily, seeking influence and returns. The Sahel is now a crowded chessboard of global and regional powers. Africa's security landscape is being redrawn. The debt-trap diplomacy label for China's Africa policy is losing traction. Independent analysts say debt problems stem from many factors: mismanagement, corruption, and economic shocks, not just Beijing's strategy. China has learned from past mistakes, shifting to smaller, more sustainable investments and restructuring loans. African leaders aren't passive. They leverage competition to maximize benefits. The real story is one of agency. African governments are diversifying partnerships, not choosing sides. Experts urge the US to move beyond zero-sum thinking. Instead of just countering China, America should offer high-quality, transparent alternatives. Re-engagement on trade, support for African institutions and creative partnerships are key. The goal, make the US a partner of choice again. Africa's future will be shaped by its own decisions. China's rise in Africa signals a profound shift in the global order, one that is already reshaping the balance of power and influence across continents. As America steps back, Beijing's model of state-led development, rapid, pragmatic, and largely free of political conditions, fills the vacuum, offering African nations new choices and opportunities. For many developing countries, China's approach is not just attractive, but transformative. It provides an alternative to the Western model, which often comes with strict requirements and slow-moving processes. The so-called Beijing Consensus is emerging as a serious rival to the old Washington Consensus, challenging the norms that have guided global development for decades. This new reality complicates international cooperation on urgent issues like climate change, security, and technology, as the world divides into competing blocs with different priorities and values. The contest for Africa's vast resources, especially minerals vital for the green transition, will have far-reaching consequences for the global economy and the fight against climate change. Yet, the future remains unwritten. America still wields significant soft power, from its world-leading universities to its culture of innovation, and continues to inspire young Africans seeking opportunity. The challenge now is for the US to re-engage with Africa on new, more equal terms, listening to African voices, respecting their agency, and supporting their aspirations for growth and self-determination. The decisions made in this moment will not only shape Africa's destiny, but will reverberate across the world, influencing the future of global cooperation and competition. This is a pivotal story, one that demands our attention, our understanding, and our engagement as the world enters a new era.